Good morning and welcome to Trial by Combat 2020. My name is Justin Bernstein. I'm the Director of Trial Advocacy at the UCLA School of Law. We've been looking forward to hosting all of you in California this summer, but something got in the way. But we are delighted to be able to host the very first online college mock trial competition, and we are thrilled to have such a great field. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague.
And good morning, everyone. My name is Abby Heller. I'm the Assistant Director of Trial Advocacy at the Drexel University Klein School of Law. And welcome to Trial by Combat 2020 and our opening ceremony. We are so excited to host each and every one of you. We're excited to give this a try for the first time via Zoom, and we think we have thought of everything ahead of time, so we're looking forward to a fun competition and hopefully a smooth running weekend. Now, to get things started, it's my privilege to introduce Dean Daniel Filler, who is the Dean of the Drexel University Thomas R. Klein School of Law. And it is incredibly appropriate for Dean Filler to be welcoming you today because of his experience as a trial lawyer. And that's not something that every dean of every law school can say. But Dean Filler started his career as a public defender, first in Philadelphia, and then at the Bronx Defenders. And he has significant experience representing criminally accused facing the death penalty. He's worked for the international firm of Debevoise and Plimpton, and as a legal scholar and as a dean, he has been an advocate for hands-on education and the teaching of trial advocacy, recognizing the importance of the skill that you're all going to be putting to the test this weekend. So in the age of Zoom, please join me in a silent round of applause to welcome Dean Filler, who's going to have some welcoming remarks for us.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Justin. I so appreciate everyone gathering here today. For me, I haven't done this at all, but I wanted to do this Zoom standing up because it felt appropriate. I've just been sitting for every other Zoom call. So I'm in the law school with some pictures of our alums behind us. And I'm just incredibly excited to welcome all of you to this competition. You know, trial competitions are, first of all, a ton of fun. I am sure most of you would not be here if this didn't put a little joy into your life, even if that's joy plus stress. And they're also a tremendous and unique opportunity to build a skill set that is rare and really significant in terms of giving you the capacity to do stuff in your day-to-day life, the kind of analytics, the kind of talking and bringing ideas together. And then if you ultimately pursue law, the ability to actually try cases. And let me tell you why we are so excited, and I'm speaking, I'm sure, for Justin and Abby, but also institutionally for Drexel's Klein School of Law, and I know too for UCLA School of Law. This kind of competition develops skills that matter for our society and for our democracy. You know, one of the things you see in societies that are not democratic, that are authoritarian, is you see the lawyers getting rounded up. Why is that? Let me tell you, our trial system in the United States, which puts people in front of juries for them to be able to make decisions, is a unique and powerful way that the people retain control in a society. The notion that, for example, a person can't just be arrested, charged with a crime, and summarily put in prison based on the decision of a politically selected judge is a huge deal. It is a huge deal, therefore, as a law school, for us to train people like you. We know in all times, but especially in these times, anything that facilitates and strengthens democracy matters extra much. And as we see our judicial system under pressure, our policing under pressure, with significant questions about the integrity of our entire enterprise, now more than ever, we look to people like you with a skill set and an analytical approach and the ability to manage facts and witnesses and to make arguments to fact-finding juries. We look at all of you as our future. When we're gone, you are going to be supporting this democracy. So I just want to open by saying, I love what you're doing, and I know it's great, and I know it's fun, but know also that it matters, and that we are excited, and I am personally excited, and speaking on behalf of both of our law schools, we believe that what you're doing matters and is consequential, and that you should feel pride for being here, of course, because you are the most talented of all the talented competitors in trial advocacy, but you should be proud too, because what you're doing matters to this broader society. So go out, compete, win, and then as you look what's ahead of you, think about law school. Think about Drexel Klein Law. Think about UCLA. Think about the many law schools as a way for you to take a skill set you have and have it bloom. Support our democracy, make a difference, change lives. Good luck. I'm going to hand it back to these folks, and I'm so excited for what's ahead of you today and for an entire lifetime.
Thank you, Dean Filler. You're welcome to stay on and find out the surprise case announcement. We're going to introduce our competitors in a moment. We wanted to announce one change to our roster of competitors. Our 17th competitor is unable to go forward. We found that out about 36 hours ago. And so we scrambled to find somebody capable of filling in, and we found some folks who were more than capable. A young woman from Miami, Ohio, who you'll get to hear a little bit more in a few minutes, Caitlin Hunt, is our 17th competitor. And you know that that's a strong team because they are, as I understand it, the three-time defending national champion, Miami, Ohio. And just in case we need a backup to our backup, we've contacted a couple former gladiators, folks who know how to do one-on-one competition. And they're a combined group, Catherine Cole from Emory and Chloe Conson, her second chair from UVA. Obviously, they have participating schools, so it's not our hope that they'll have to participate, as excellent as they are, because we're hoping to keep our 16. But we have some backup in case any of you are unable to go. So without further ado, we want to make sure we take our group photo. So Abby and I are going to be taking screenshot photography here. So what we're going to ask everybody to do is, first we want a photo of our 16 competitors. So if everybody other than those 16 competitors can please mute your video, that'd be great. And that includes me and Abby.
All right, and I would just smile for about the next 30 seconds as Justin and I take our screenshots of you, so we know that we have a good picture.
I only see 15 on screen. Who are we missing? Do we have Mr. Besman?
Not smiling now if you want to, but still welcome to smile if you're in the mood. Who are we missing?
I don't see Mr. Besman. Okay, I've got photos. Abby, you good?
I'm good. I got a good photo.
Awesome. Let's see if we can get our second chairs on. So everybody other than the second chairs, turn off your video. Abby, you got a couple photos?
Yep, I do.
Fantastic. And then let's get our coaches on screen. We should do before and after so we see what they look like after they've had no sleep for 2 days.
That's the real transformation.
Awesome. Abby, you good?
Yep.
All right, everybody come on back. Okay, well, we want to introduce our competitors, and I'll go first. We are thrilled to welcome Josie Bianchi, our competitor from Stanford. So we're going to ask everybody when we introduce you, if everybody else could mute or turn off their video, and let's just put the folks that we're introducing on screen. So let's everybody turn off our video and have Stanford trio on screen. Regina, you don't go to Stanford. Awesome. Josie Bianchi is our competitor from Stanford. If you have to cross-examine Josie this weekend, I would not test her memory. She's been on College Jeopardy. Josie just graduated and has begun work as Deputy Chief of Staff for Condoleezza Rice, very impressive. Her second chair this weekend is Liz Grant, former Gladiator semifinalist, and her coach is nonprofit CEO Tom Scher, the only coach to win Gladiator twice. Those two are both not only excellent, but they enjoy drama. Elizabeth worked on Broadway last summer, and Tom once did public relations for a drag queen. We welcome Josie and her team from Stanford. Give them a round of applause. Okay, so Abby, who's on screen next?
So on screen next, we should have our competitors from Tufts. All right, so we are absolutely thrilled to welcome Stephen Becker, who is our competitor from Tufts. And Stephen actually has a history of being in the spotlight way before mock trial. So he was not just a member, but an enthusiastic member of the San Francisco Boys Chorus at the age of 10. And in the fall, Stephen will be starting at Harvard Law School. His second chair that he's joined by is Bennett Dembski. And here's a fun fact about Bennett. Bennett once ate 40 packs of Welch's fruit snacks in one sitting, which I think would be a very intimidating fact if this were some type of food competition. I'm not really sure what it means for trial by combat, but yay, Bennett. And they are coached by Arvin Godet, who's a Tufts mock trial alum and whose laugh has been compared to Tickle Me Elmo. So a big welcome to Stephen and your team from Tufts.
All right, if we can get our team from Minnesota on screen. I think you're all gathered together. Bree Goodchild is our first competitor from the University of Minnesota. Her teammates tell me that the closest to death Bree has ever been was when she attended the 2019 Ramblin' Wreck and drove a scooter at full speed into a light pole and fell into a street full of oncoming traffic. She looked surprised just now because that's not the fun fact she sent me. She sent me something boring, so I went to her teammates. Her second chair is Keen Nolan, who likes to run marathons. Little known fact, between us, Keen and I have combined to run exactly 3 marathons. Bree's coach is Caleb Brady, and she says that he's an active thrill seeker who enjoys skydiving, scuba diving, and even scarier 24-hour case prep. Bree, Keen, and Caleb are all planning to apply to law school this fall, so I'll just say this. I know a law school where it's a little warmer than Minnesota. We welcome Bree and her team from U of M. Give them a round of applause.
And next we will have the team from Ohio State. You can come on the screen. So Matthew Besman is our competitor from Ohio State. And this fall, Matthew is going to be starting at Harvard Law School. He's joined by his second chair, Clay Owens, and his coach, Maddie Driscoll. Now, as a team, I think this group may have submitted the most interesting fun fact, and it is an interesting recreational pastime. So here it is. This is straight from them. Maddie is an expert tree climber. Clay is an amateur tree climber. And Matthew, well, he can't climb trees at all. So Matthew, let me just say this, from the very bottom of my heart, may all your closing arguments this weekend go better than your attempts to tree climb. We welcome Matthew and his team from Ohio State.
And Matthew, I'm not sure we got your photo in the group photo. Can you come back on screen so I can get a screenshot? And I'll just get Matthew now, and then we'll get your teammates. A little lower. There you go. Awesome. And let's get your second chair. Matthew, just your second chair. There you go. Awesome. And Maddie. Wow, you were hiding back there. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let's get on screen our team from UMBC. Sydney Gaskins is our competitor from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. She once killed a harmless tadpole with her bare hands. So just imagine what she's willing to do to you on cross-examination. Her second chair is Ethan Hudson. She describes Ethan as classy, bougie, and lactose intolerant. And her coach is Ben Garmo. He's an attorney, he's a podcaster, but his first job was at Chili's, where he quit without telling anyone. So it's possible they still think he works there. We welcome Sydney and her team from UMBC. Give them a round of applause.
And if I can have our team from UC Irvine join me on the screen. So we are absolutely thrilled to welcome Sasha Youssef from UC Irvine. And Sasha is going to be attending Columbia Law School in the fall. Sasha's second chair is Joseph Kalarian, who is a rising senior, and Sasha is coached by Dev Medeka, who will be attending Duke Law School in the fall. Now, you know that Sasha picked a winning combination for a second chair and coach because allegedly, Joseph has never lost a game of cornhole, and Dev got to shoot hoops with Dwayne Wade at an NBA All-Star game. So we welcome Sasha and Sasha's team from UC Irvine.
If we could have our Cincinnati trifecta. So here's a fun fact. The only person in our field who's won trial by combat as a coach is actually here as a competitor. Julia Grieve is our competitor from Cincinnati. In high school, Julia was in the Ohio All-State Orchestra. This fall, she'll be teaching for America. Her second chair is Kevin Johnson, who is training for a marathon. Kevin, if you need any tips, you can just ask me and Keen. And Julia's coach is Stephen Johnson. Now, you know he won trial by combat, but did you know that he once won a Mean Girls trivia contest? I'm also thrilled to announce that this fall, Stephen will be transferring to the UCLA School of Law. We welcome Julia and her team from Cincinnati.
And can I have our team from Florida State join me on the screen? So we are happy to welcome Taylor Rich, who is our competitor from Florida State. And Taylor is going to be starting law school at the University of Miami in the fall. Her second chair is Abby Branham, who is a rising sophomore at Florida State, and her coach is Julie Howard, who is also going to be starting law school in the fall at Ohio State. Now, this team from Florida State is a team of vast talent. Here's just a couple things you need to know about them. Taylor can hold a handstand for a full minute, and Abby can recite the Intro to Law and Order SVU from memory. So a big welcome to Taylor and her team from Florida State.
Can we get on screen our team from Miami? Caitlin Hunt is our 17th competitor. Katie is truly ambidextrous. She can eat with both hands, play sports with both hands. She can even write with both hands. And her second chair is Kayla Gronick. Katie tells me that Kayla is an incredibly talented artist and has recently dyed her hair blue during quarantine. And her coach this weekend is Ben Sandlin. Ben's a business litigator, but before that, he worked at the Cincinnati Zoo. We welcome Katie and her team from Miami. Thank you so much for helping us this weekend. Good luck.
And next up, can we have Regina Campbell and her team from the University of Chicago on the screen? Okay, we got everyone. So Regina Campbell is our competitor from the University of Chicago. And in the fall, Regina is headed to UCLA for law school. And I know that Regina has some phenomenal trial skills that most of you probably know about based on her mock trial record. But I also think evidence of her phenomenal trial skills were evident in the fun fact that she wrote. So I'm going to read it for you. Stick with me. I'm going to explain it. So here's Regina's fun fact. This is what she writes. I'm vegan, sort of. I had some ice cream, but I put almonds on top of it, so it's fine. Well, here's what I see in that sentence as far as trial advocacy goes. We have somebody breaking a rule, followed by a very reasonable and credible justification, ice cream and almonds. And if that's not good lawyering, I'm not sure what is. So Regina is joined by her second chair, Henry Hopcraft, a rising senior at the University of Chicago, whose celebrity crush, fun fact, is Anna Kendrick, and her coach, Kevin Solove, who will soon be a district attorney in Philadelphia. Kevin, if you don't live in Philadelphia already, welcome. We are happy to welcome Regina and her team from the University of Chicago.
Can I get our team from Duke on screen, please? Hey, Blue Devils. Sonali Mehta is our competitor from Duke. Sonali is well equipped for online trial by combat because she has plenty of experience in front of the camera. Not only did she win our opening statement competition, she once starred in a Kia Soul commercial. Sonali's second chair is Seva Castleberry, who has the best name of anyone in the competition. I'm told that Sonali's dog likes Seva more than he likes Sonali. Sonali's coach is trial by combat alum and Duke Law student Eric Reutman, who likes Chipotle so much that he once named his cat Chipotle. I shouldn't say he once named his cat Chipotle. I'm guessing that's still the name. Now, I don't know if Chipotle also prefers Seva to Sonali. Maybe all animals prefer Seva to Sonali, but we're going to try to find out. In any event, we welcome Sonali and her team from Duke. Good luck this weekend.
And can I get the team from Rhodes on the screen? All right, do we have a third person that we're missing? Ah, here we go, Anna, thank you. All right, so we have Richard Madden as our competitor from Rhodes, and his second chair is Jenna Periano, and he's coached by Anna Eldridge. Now, Rhodes took an interesting and unique approach to the bio and fun fact questionnaire, and they chose to provide very little information and be very mysterious. So if I may editorialize, I think that this was perhaps intentional. I think it was an intentional intimidation tactic to be mysterious during the opening ceremony and thereby be intimidating. Now, I have no evidence to support any of that. Maybe you just don't like filling out fun fact questions. I hate filling them out, so I get it. But I think what we see from the team from Rhodes is that they are going to be a big threat in this competition. And here are the two fun facts that I got. Richard eventually wants to go to law school, and Jenna is a math major. So a big welcome to Richard Madden and his team from
Rhodes. I'm going to ask our team from Virginia to take the screen. Dan Peel is our competitor from Virginia. His fun fact, and I didn't write this, he did. His fun fact is he is dating Elizabeth Bays. Now, I asked Dan, I said, Dan, what do you love most about Elizabeth? And he said, her creativity. Okay, I made that up, but it was a reasonable inference. Now, Dan's second chair is rising junior James Orr. In high school, James starred in a ghost hunting documentary. That's very UVA because cameras are involved And he didn't just appear in the ghost hunting documentary, he made sure to tell us he starred in the ghost hunting documentary. Dan's coach is Assistant United States Attorney Ryan Faulkner. Ryan wants you to know that even though he has more gray hair than I do, he's actually younger than I am. Thanks for that, Ryan. We welcome Dan and his team from Virginia.
And up next, let's have our team from Emory join me on the screen. Welcome, everyone. So Elias Nybart is our competitor from Emory, and he's also going to be going to Harvard Law in the fall of 2022, not this fall, but of 2022, as part of their junior deferral program. So common theme here, we're going to have a lot of trial by combat alum at Harvard Law. I love it. And he'll be working in NYC before school. So here's a fun fact about Elias. He and his family raise teacup pigs. They currently have 10 pigs. And I know that you are all eagerly waiting to get the case file and you want to get through these introductions. So let me just drop a spoiler here. There is potential that Elias's experience raising pigs may give him the upper hand with the case topic that we chose for this year. So that's the only spoiler you're going to get in introductions. Now, he's joined by a celebrity-connected second chairing coach. His second chair, John Merle, who is heading to Columbia Law, once caught a pass from Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, and his coach, Raya Lakaraju, and Raya, I apologize if I just butchered your last name, Lakaraju, was once in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So we welcome Elias and his team from Emory.
Can I get on screen our team from Georgia Tech, please? Harsha Streeter is our competitor from the Georgia Tech. He's a huge fan of Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, and his excellent taste in football teams is the main reason he will be starting at Harvard Law this fall. Go Pack, go. Harsha's second chair is teammate Pranam Gandham, who wins the award for worst fact submitted, although I should update that. It's worst fact submitted other than by Rhodes. For 2 years, Jack Siegenthaler held that award. I think his first year he said he was in a band. I mean, if you'd ever seen him, of course you know who's in a band. And no trial by combat introduction would be complete without making fun of Jack Siegenthaler. But the torch for worst fact has been passed. Pranam's fun fact is that he likes cheesecake. Pranav, everyone likes cheesecake. Now, Harsha's coach is Will Warahay. I know I teased Will during our Zoom call last week, but I have to admit, Will is a formidable coach. I mean, over the last few years, he has learned so much from Sarah Stebbins. We welcome Harsha and his team from Tech.
If I could have our team from Columbia join me on the screen. So Michelle Rahimzadeh is our competitor from Columbia, and Michelle is no stranger to taking on challenges. You see, not only is Michelle a fierce mock trial competitor, but she attempts to bake every technical challenge from the Great British Bake Off in her spare time. Now, Michelle just graduated and is going to join Capco as an associate consultant. Her second chair is Alexandria Farina, who is the incoming president of Columbia Mock Trial, and her coach is Andrew Yablonsky, who also just graduated from Columbia as well. And here's a fun story that was submitted about Andrew. During his first mock trial scrimmage, he accidentally argued multiple objections while playing a witness from the witness stand. So I'm sure his mock trial skills have improved since then, or Michelle would not have selected him as her coach for this competition. So welcome, Michelle and your team from Columbia.
Can we welcome on screen our team from Yale? Hey Yale, Sam Gross is our competitor from the Bulldogs. He recently experimented with using walkie-talkies to communicate with neighbors and after detailed analysis, he concluded that phones work better. Sam will be a litigation analyst for the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York. His second chair is Kinsey Clark, a rising senior who knows all the words to Paul Revere by the Beastie Boys. I can only assume that's a song. Now, Sam's coach is Elizabeth Bays. Her fun fact is that she's dating Dan Peel. Now, I asked Elizabeth, I said, Elizabeth, what do you love most about Dan? And she said, it's his access to detailed scouting reports. We welcome Sam Gross and his team from Yale.
And last but not least, could I have Catherine Cole, who is our second alternate, join us on the screen, and Chloe Conson. So Catherine and Chloe, thank you so much for helping us out this weekend and willing to be on standby for us. Catherine Cole is our second alternate, and she's a rising junior at Emory. And last summer, she had a very altruistic moment where she helped sea turtle nests hatch and make sure that all of the little sea turtles made it safely to the water, which seems like a wonderful way to spend some time at the beach. Catherine's second chair is Chloe Conson, a rising sophomore at UVA. And Chloe, fun fact, is a dual citizen of the United States and South Africa. And both of these women are former gladiator competitors, so I'm sure they will be ready to go if we need them. Thank you both for helping us out. Round of applause for Catherine and Chloe.
Abby, can we pull everybody back to the screen? I think we're ready for the case announcement. Or am I missing anything?
I think it's time. I think this is what they're all waiting for. We're ready.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Sorry, one second. We are excited to introduce the Trial by Combat 2020 case. Now, 2020 has been a challenging year, and it's raised lots of important questions about justice, health, safety, and the future of our society. But perhaps no question has drawn more attention this year than whether this woman killed her husband. Now, the case isn't United States versus Carol Baskin. It's completely unrelated. It's United States versus Kara Bassett. Totally different. No issues there regarding defamation. Okay. We jump to our introduction here of this man, Don Clark. Don is a Tallahassee businessman with multiple investments, and one of those investments is the Greater Tallahassee Elephant Park. Don likes elephants, but he views them primarily as an investment, and he treats them like an investment. His wife, Kara, however, feels differently. Kara loves elephants, adores elephants. She calls herself the Elephant Queen. Now, Kara likes to draw elephants, collect elephant towels, elephant stuffed animals. She even has an elephant pilot on her Roomba. Now, she and Don don't agree because she doesn't think these elephants should be in cages. She thinks they should be able to roam free. And for years, Kara and Don have butted heads over the question of how to run the Greater Tallahassee Elephant Park. Until one day, Don's gone. Now, police have a theory. They think that she drugged him with elephant tranquilizer, drove his body to the Big Gum Swamp 2 hours away, left his van at the airport. Kara's defense team has a different theory. They say Don just left in the middle of the night, used his private plane perhaps, got out of town, went to his home in Costa Rica. And of course, maybe the best defense evidence of all is that Don's body hasn't been found. This year we have two witnesses, one for each side. The government will call Special Agent Steph Johnson, FBI, and the defense will call the producer who'd been making the documentary, The Elephant Queen, Joe Kwong. In addition to all those evidence, the evidence you've just seen, there's also going to be some video evidence.
Nothing is more important to me than these animals. Nothing.
Trial by Combat 2020. Your case will be live in your folder in about 1 minute. Good luck, everybody.